Welcome everybody to Eurovision Ireland's first part of our Junior Eurovision 2020 review. And joining us is a guest panellist this week, Phil. Hello.
Evening. You all right?
Thanks, you.
Yeah, good, thank you. Hello, Europe and other people.
And as always, there's John.
Hi.
Jack, Bogdan.
Hi.
Elf, Richard. Sadly, Sarah can't be with us this week, but she will be back. And there's Staggy, of course. Right, so this week we will be reviewing the Junior Eurovision participants from Spain, Poland, the Netherlands, France, Germany, and finally Malta. So, starting with Spain, Spain are one of the most successful countries to have entered Junior Eurovision. In their previous 5 participations, Maria Isabel represented them in 2004 and won. She took home 8 sets of 12 points from the jury that year. They've also finished runners-up twice and also took a 3rd place last year. So let's watch a clip of this year's entry, Palante, which is performed by Celia.
Míralo así, así, téntalo una vez más. Yo sé que no es fácil hasta que no puedas. Tira pa'lante, pa'lante, tira pa'lante hasta que no puedas. Tira pa'lante, pa'lante, tira pa'lante hasta que no puedas. Tira pa'lante.
So, watch this clip. I watched the official video. You can't fault her vocals. They're quite good. It is very catchy, but definitely aimed at the younger age groups rather than aimed at us, I felt. And because you watched the official video, I tried to imagine what the performance would look like on the night in a couple of weeks' time. And because there's some dance elements in the video, certainly in the second half, I'm sort of assuming we'll be seeing quite a few backing dancers with her on the stage. John, what do you think?
Have you been reading my notes? What I've got down here is presumably she'll have her dancers with her because it's a song that needs dancers. It's nice and Latino. It started a little bit like a song called Fly With Me by Artsvik, the Armenian song at Eurovision, big Eurovision. Not a bad thing, just something that struck a chord there. It was very good, nice and catchy. I just thought it ended rather suddenly.
Yeah,
it sort of caught me a bit by surprise. Not a bad song, it just caught me a bit unawares how it ended. It might look better on stage.
Phil, what did you think?
Well, I'm wondering if both of you have been reading my notes, which is rather worrying. My problems, first of all, with this song is she's trying to be a young Jennifer Lopez, and she's not succeeding, to be honest. She's got the Latina vibe about him, as you've all mentioned, about her, as you've both mentioned, but I do think that the song is written in a key that's a touch too high for her. I feel, like you've all said, that the backing dancers are going to be key to this. If they do the old adult trick of distracting the viewers with lots and lots of people, it'll do well. I just don't think it's a strong enough song. Having said that, she's going to perform it well, though.
Bogdan, what do you think?
Well, you know what? I think actually this could be a bop, because even from the beginning, the song hooks you in, and then it makes you dance and sing along. Okay, it's a bit repetitive, but in this case, I don't mind it, because being a dance song, you don't mind a little bit of repetition. So I think it's quite an okay entry, and people like it, children like it all over the world, dancing along to it. Tira pa'lante, pa'lante. I'm fine with it. I think it will do okay, just great.
Yeah, and James, what do you think?
This was one of the songs that I listened to and immediately was like, oh, now, it sort of grabbed my attention straight away. I love the fact it's very modern, but it's got that sort of traditional feeling, very sort of Latin flamenco. John said it reminded him of another song. The song it reminded me of, I don't know if you'll remember the song Army of Love in the Romanian selection a few years ago, Bella Santiago. That sort of pan flute going throughout the chorus. So I was like, okay, that really works. It's got that hook. It's memorable from the first listen. Very strong chorus. She performs it brilliantly. My one concern sort of echoes what Phil says. Is that it's a very strong chorus. So some of the rest of the song sort of seems a bit weak by comparison, but she'll perform it well. It's instantly memorable. And I think with a flurry of dancers behind her, I think this will be one to watch.
That's good. So we'll now move on to Poland. So in their previous 6 participations, Poland have won Junior Eurovision twice, in 2018 and 2019. In 2018, Roxana won with Any One I Want to Be, with one set of 12 points from the juries, but 136 points from the online vote. And then last year, Vicky Gabor won with Superheroes with 2 sets of 12 points and 166 points from the online vote. So let's watch a clip of this year's entry, I'll Be Standing, which is performed by Elise.
Zabiorę wszystko to i w każdy dzień, w każdą noc będę pamiętać marzenia mają moc. Standing up, rising up, living in my dream. Even when times get tough, I'll be standing. I'll be standing. I'll be standing. I'll be standing.
Yeah, well, they're obviously on for the treble this year, you know. Ireland in the 90s all over again. And Poland seem to get Jesk. They have problems with Big Esk, but they seem to get Jesk like some other countries do that we'll come on to as we watch all these. Nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this. It's the old typical sort of triumph of persistence over adversity sort of song. She puts it across well from what you can see on the video. I somehow don't think they're going to do the treble with this. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. You know, there's it's anyone's game. It will pick up its fair share of votes. And Poland TVP are not going to disgrace themselves this year, but I don't think it's going to win. But it'll do well.
Phil, what do you think?
I think it's the kind of song that Russia have been putting into this Junior Eurovision Song Contest for years. It's the kind of thing that Eastern Europe are comfortable with. You know, bearing in mind the way that this contest is skewed these days, it will pick up votes. My problem, and again, not to be too harsh, my problem is the singer. The voice that she comes, the way she sings it is a little bit grating. I suspect it's, you know, Polish equivalent of stage school voice, I guess. But if you're listening to it, and at the end of the day, it's a contest where there's going to be points awarded, then you've got to, it's got to feel right. It's got to resonate correctly, and I just don't think it will. I also have issues with the fact that she's clearly miming on the video. Granted, it's a video. Granted, she's a child. However, we don't know how that's going to be in real life. I fear for it, but I can also see it doing really well. It's a Marmite song. You either love it or hate it.
Bogdan, what do you think?
Okay, well, I actually quite enjoy her voice. I do agree it will all depend how she will sound live, actually. My problem is with other fact, like, okay, the song began, and okay, I was intrigued, said, okay, it might be a third win for Poland, okay, and then I was little bit let down by the chorus. The composer could have done so much better. It felt like, okay, we will work on the lyrics and try to express an idea, and then at the chorus, they got a little bit lazy, just a little bit too lazy at the chorus, so for me, the chorus is a bit let down. But other than that, I think it will do okay. It will be a win. I don't think so, but it has the chances to be a winner. So we shall see.
James?
I agree. As we've said, this sort of feels like Poland gunning for a third win. And take it from Ireland, Poland, 3 back-to-back wins, not all they're cracked up to be at Eurovision or indeed at Jesk. I like the fact that it's very up-tempo. It feels like it's trying to be anthemic. I love the sort of trumpet blasts throughout the chorus. You know, that was a nice touch. The lyrics are powerful, and I think that whole idea about sort of triumphing over adversity is something that a lot of people are going to connect to, especially this year. That being said, I feel like it's been designed to be a third Jesk win for Poland. I'm not quite sure that that's what it's going to achieve. It's definitely going to have its fans. It will definitely do well. but I think a third win might be a bit ambitious. But we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I have to agree with the vocal side of things, and yes, it's definitely up tempo. But from the official video, I couldn't get any vibe on how it might be portrayed on stage, whether she'll have backing dancers, backing singers, and I think that sort of combination has helped the previous two Polish acts to take victory. So I think it's a case of wait and see for that one. So the Netherlands. Just like Belarus, the Netherlands have participated in every junior Eurovision Song Contest so far, and to date they've won once in 2009. That year they were represented by Ralph Mackenbach with the song Click Clack. The entry was awarded 4 sets of 12 points from the juries, but that includes 1 set of 12 points from the EBU. Now, 12 points were awarded by the EBU to every country between 2005 and 2015, so avoiding any nul point to upset any children. So, this year, they're being represented by a group called Unity, and their entry is Best Friends. Let's take a look. Phil, would you like to start us off on this one?
Yes, I would. This is the best song in this 6 by a mile. This is one of the entries that has remembered what to do in the contest. You put a good song in that happens to be sung by children. It's got typical Eurovision written all the way through it. It's the kind of thing the Dutch adults have been putting into the finals for years. It's familiar. It feels like a proper Eurovision song, despite it not having a key change, which lots of other people will not like. But there you go. Different contests, different things. It'll be performed well. It's performed by 4 people that clearly enjoy each other's company, that obviously, because they're best friends. It's clearly a song that they all know like the back of their hand. It's going to do really, really well. There's nothing that a kid or a young adult or a juror would vote down on this. I genuinely cannot see a reason why this wouldn't be top 5.
Bogdan, what do you think?
I must agree with Phil on this one. It's the song that I enjoyed the most, and it has good vocals. At some point, if the harmonies that we can hear in the video will be as good as what we heard in the video, life will be the same, will be awesome. Secondly, you can sing along and you can dance along in the third. So it has all the ingredients to be a really good song and reach a really good position. So for me, it's definitely a winner, or at least a contender for the winning spot.
James, what do you think?
Well, upon listening to it, I wondered if we were going to see that most rare of thing, a country win Eurovision and Junior Eurovision in the same year. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I'm sort of a bit more, melancholic when it comes to music. I like my Balkan ballads. I sort of like things that are sort of meaningful, sort of usually light and fluffy is not really my style. That being said, this is just like a Jesk entry by numbers. It's fun. It makes you want to sing along, dance, clap. I think the Netherlands have done something brilliant here. There's lots of things that everyone's going to connect to it. They harmonise beautifully. As Phil said, they sing with conviction. You believe that they are friends and they all get on. And I think this is just what Europe needs now in 2020. I think something like this, it's fun, it's light, it's going to make us forget that it's been quite a difficult year. So, yeah, I think we could see the Netherlands winning Eurovision and Junior Eurovision in the same year.
I watched the national final performance to look at this, and obviously only 3 of the girls could take part at the national final. But for me, I wanted to watch the national final performance to see what it could look like on stage. They started off behind doors, walked through the doors. So I'm guessing doors may feature on stage in Warsaw, or the pre-recorded performance, I should say. The harmonies for the voices improved throughout, I think. And the dancing they did was synchronized. So overall, it's a really good package. And I think had that been in Gliwice last year, I think John will agree with this, the audience would have gone wild because of the atmosphere with the families and stuff. John, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record after what you lot have all said. Nothing wrong with this at all. It ticks a lot of the right boxes for a Jesk song. It's very pleasant. They're very smiley girls. You can tell they've not just been put together and told make friends or else. They are friends. You know, very well delivered. It's a nice uplifting number in these dark times. What we need. It's just, yeah, what we need right now. And yeah, break the Polish stranglehold. Maybe it will do that.
Let's move on to France. In their previous 3 appearances, France have achieved a 2nd place as their best position, and that was in 2018. Angelina represented the nation with Jamais Sans Toi, achieving 2 sets of 12 points from the jurors and 117 points from the online vote. So let's watch a clip of this year's entry, J'imagine, which is performed by
Tout commence par un j'imagine. Dans un coin de la tête, un rêve qui soudain se dessine. Que plus rien n'arrête, dis-moi toi ce que t'imagines. Chante-le à tue-tête, passe le message à ta voisine. Hey, moi je suis prête. La 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 la, j'imagine. La 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 la, j'imagine. La 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 la, j'imagine. J'imagine. La 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 la, moi demain j'imagine. Oups, j'ai imaginé un monde où on se serrait dans les bras pour faire la plus belle des rondes. Une danse entre vous et moi.
Would like to start us off?
Sure. I can only imagine that she might top that 2nd position again, or at least try to be another contender for the winning spot. This is a very good song. It's engaging from the start. You want to dance along. She's very, I don't know, I would say like fun to watch. You're watching her and you're really entertained by her performance, and it's a happy song. It's easy to sing along, and I can see it receiving points from all over the world. So well done, France.
James?
Oops, I think this one's brilliant. The moment it starts, it just kicks up the beat and you're gripped immediately. It's fun. It's a tiny bit repetitive, but with a song like this, I think that really works. And I think she's an amazing performer. She sort of grabs your attention. She sings it well, performs it well. I think France, I think they're sort of eyeing up the Jesk trophy. And I think this could get them tantalisingly close.
I'm the complete opposite, unfortunately. Rap doesn't work at Eurovision. However, you've got to remember this is aimed at a different audience compared to us. So I can see it being fun and I can see it working with the younger audience. But I do like the fact that the chorus is actually sung rather than rapped as well. And when that's happening, it's good vocals. Obviously, with the official video, she was joined by many dancers, so I expect it's another performance that will have many backing dancers, just like the Spanish. John?
Well, how could you not love a song that's got "oops" in it? It's like the first one, and she just smiles at the camera and says "oops." I'm like, oh, that's not what I was expecting from France. She actually reminds me of my 7-year-old niece, who, as my niece, she can't do a thing wrong. She's a perfect angel. And Valentine's obviously one of the younger performers, probably the youngest performer we've seen in this batch. And that might actually count in her favour because, voices do mature over time, but I think her voice is better than her age says it should be, if that makes sense. She's a better singer than she should be at such a young age. I'll stop digging now. Nicely bouncy. It'll need the dancers on stage. I did worry about how old some of her dancers were, bearing in mind it's a junior Eurovision, but presumably they'll fulfil all the correct rules and everything when they record their performance. Not a bad little song, and maybe just something enough under the radar to bring a bit of a surprise.
And Phil, what do you think?
I think that anyone called Valentina has got a problem at this contest. And I think the problem might be the fact that the French have tried to shoehorn as many words of that beautiful language into 3 minutes as is physically possible. And it leaves me confused. I'm sure somewhere there's a good song, and I'm sure it's going to be performed well, and I'm sure that all the things that everybody else have said is true. I just get the feeling from about 30 seconds in, it's lost. There's too much going on. There's too much vocal. It's too busy. If it's toned down, and lets the tune through, it could do well. But as it stands in that preview video, it's messy. And I hate saying that because she is young, but at the end of the day, it's a contest, you know? There will be a winner declared, but I just can't see it being this.
Fair enough. So we're now moving on to this year's debut country. So Germany are the last Big Five country to take part in this contest. They were due to take part in the first contest back in 2003, however withdrew due to unknown reasons. So let's watch a clip of their debut entry, Stronger With You, which is performed by...
Nicht mehr weg, auch wenn's so viel leichter wär. Schrei doch noch lauter, in dir steckt sehr viel mehr. Und ich glaube so an dich. Ja, ich warte hier auf dich. You gotta stand up and help me, please. I'm on my knees begging you to stop the hurting, the bleeding. This is my dream and I need you to be on my team. I do, 'cause I'm stronger with you.
Jane, what would you like to say about it?
Well, I'll start by commending Germany for picking 2020 as a year to try out something new. You know, I think that's very commendable considering everything else that's going on in Europe and the world at large, really. One thing I will say about this entry is that it's confirmed how much I miss hearing German at Eurovision. It's something that I sort of think of every year, but hearing a song that was in English and in German, I think it would be nice to have German back at the adult contest as well. Yeah, I think staging is going to be very, very key with this song. The lyrics and the message are going to strike a chord with everyone. You know, this feeling of unity, of missing people, sort of wanting to be back together. You know, so many people connect with that. So I think that's what she's doing well. Musically, I'm not sure it's strong enough to grab a voter's attention. So I think staging will be key here, and I'll be interested to see what Germany bring to the table.
I have to agree with you on that, James. The staging is the thing that interested me, because on the official video, she's on stage with a pianist. So I'm expecting maybe a pianist on stage, but then other moments she's on her phone looking back at memories. So I'm sort of expecting memories on the backdrop to, you know, appear. And then obviously further on into the videos, there is dancers. So it's sort of, I can see a pianist and maybe different memories appearing on the background, but the hint of dancers may be going a little bit too far after watching the official video. But apart from that, she grew in confidence throughout the video. That's all I've really got to say about that. John?
Well, yeah, it's nice to hear German again. German at a contest. Oh, yeah. I didn't like James, I didn't realise I'd missed it, but I have. And this song, it flips between English and German. And sometimes when you have a song that flips between two languages, you can see the join. You can tell that it's been written in one language and they just chunkily, sort of clumsily translated one bit into another. I didn't get that with this. It seemed to flow quite well from the German to English, back to German and English again. So it was a decent mix there. It was a bit of a subtle key change, which I was half expecting, and yeah, it came along. I just wonder whether it's not a bad song, but whether it's the right song for a Jesk. It's Germany's first go, so it's a learning curve for everyone. Although they've got like 20 odd contests to look, you know, a load of contests to look back at and see what the form is. But I think, yeah, it might not be right for the Jesk audience. It might have done slightly better in the Big Esk audience. We know how well Germany have been doing on that score lately, but Jesk, it's good, but maybe not quite the right audience, but I hope it does well.
Phil, what do you say about it?
I think John's been looking at my notes again. How dare you? How very dare you? I agree with it's not the right song for the right contest. It's a slow burner. It's really well written. It's a really good piece of songwriting. It's not instant enough for the kids to pick the phone up, and that's where the Netherlands have got it over any of these five. You take an instant song, you take a slow burner, and you know where kids are going to go. You know what the audience is going to do. My other issue here is a complete contrast to John when he says that the German and the English mesh well together. I thought they were clunky. I thought it was a complete clunky change of gear, didn't mesh. The German sounded harsh, and if anything, it was an advert as to why German has done so badly at a Eurovision. It's a harsh language. It's not a romance language. And surely the voters are going to go, no, that hurts my ears, or I not necessarily get it, but it doesn't sound right when sung. You know, maybe I'm putting an adult spin on it, but that's what I think.
And Bogdan, what do you think?
Oh, I actually enjoyed that it has a mix of enough German and enough English in it to appeal to everyone. So for me, the song is okay. Again, I agree with Phil and John. I don't know if it's the right audience for it, but I can only hope that with the staging, the message will be conveyed, so everybody will feel something, and you will eventually pick up the phone or vote online for it.
Right, and moving on finally to Malta. In their previous 15 appearances, Malta have won the Junior Eurovision Song Contest twice, in 2013 and 2015. Guy Chauci won with The Start in 2013 with 6 sets of 12 points from the juries. That's including 1 set from the EBU. And then in 2015, Destiny won with Not My Soul, which had 9 sets of 12 points from the juries. That's including 1 set from the EBU. So let's watch a clip from this year's entry, Chasing Sunsets, which is performed by Chanel.
Chasing sunsets here and far, as they follow the southern star, and they travel the world breathing out. It's what their life is all about. It's what their life is all about.
So I watched the national final performance when reviewing this. I thought her vocals grew throughout the performance, so near the end it was the better end of the vocals. And the little bit of connectivity that she did show, there was no audience, so it was just a jury, but you could see her eyes were connecting with them and at times with the camera. But I couldn't really judge much more from what I saw on that one. John?
Yeah, well, I've seen the cartoon video. I'm sure it'll be fine on stage. It reminded me of a song called Sand Dunes and Salty Air by a band called Groove Armada. If you've not heard it, find it on YouTube. Sort of a very sort of, a slow sort of easygoing sort of song, and that's what it reminded me of. And every time I watch the video, that's immediately what came to mind. It's a song. It's not bad. It's very it's formula, verse, chorus, bridge. And I was expecting a key change, which wasn't there, which I think it needed. It's one of these things that fans of Eurovision and Jess sometimes get very hung up about whether it should have one or not. And I think in this case, it might have done better with just a little key change at the end, just to lift it. Nothing wrong with it. And best performer's name of the contest, Chanel Monsignor. What a cracking name. If you were going to have a surname, what about Monsignor? It'd be a cracking one to have.
Monsignor Bruce Kent.
Monsignor Bruce Kent, yeah. But yeah, Malta have got a tough act to follow. Arguably one of the best Jess winners ever from Destiny, who I'm sure may well win Big S one day. So she's got some big shoes to fill as Chanel. We'll just have to see how it does.
Bill, what do you think?
I agree with you. Again, you lot have been reading my notes. And just to tell people that we actually do this independently. We're miles apart from each other. The first half of the song is the weaker half, and Chanel grows into the second half. That leads to the inevitable question in my head. If it goes horribly wrong in a studio in Warsaw, does she have the wherewithal to claw it back? Because it's all very well doing it in Malta in front of 2 people. Can she do it when the red light's on with 2,800,000 million people watching. I don't know, but that's going to be a problem for her. No reason to suspect she can't, though. The way she pulled back the second half of the preview video means she's got talent. It's deep there. I just fear she needs the confidence from the first half to get it right. I also think the song itself might have done better with the singer a little bit older, because I think, if I'm right, Chanel's only 9 years old. I think the song would be personally better suited to somebody sort of 12, 13. It's just a minimal point, but I think if she performs the first half like she performs the second half, she's on for a decent result here.
Bogdan, what do you say?
Well, I must agree with Phil. I enjoyed better the second half of the song, and I enjoy her voice. I'm not concerned about that. I was concerned about how the audience will connect with the song, and the children especially. But then when I saw the video with the cartoon, so this is where they play to connect with the audience, because let's face it, how many children are chasing sunsets? Like, usually at that time they should be in bed. So, okay, I know it's not about that, but yeah, the song is good. Let's see how it will do.
James, finally, from you.
Well, I mean, what can we say? She's a real dynamo of a young performer, and I think she has an incredible voice, and considering her age, she has real stage presence. Going back to what Bogdan said, I do feel that the song is quite mature for a junior Eurovision. I think it wouldn't be out of place at Eurovision itself, but for junior, I think the sort of whole sort of feeling of the song, sort of chasing sunsets, reaching out, I think it just feels that she's maybe a bit too young, as Phil said, to be singing about such things. Incredibly strong voice. It stands out. It's a very slow ballad, so especially in this group, and I think for all the entries this year, it does stand out. Now, whether that's going to be its greatest strength or a potential weakness, I couldn't say. But I think she's an incredible performer. We'll see, what she does for it on the night, and yeah, I think Malta might, as we said, they've got very big Jessica shoes to fill when it comes to Malta, so we'll know she'll give it her best shot.
So my final question is, and without naming any country, just simple yes or no, do you think we've seen a potential winner in tonight's selection of 6 songs? I will start by saying yes. John, what do you say?
Yes, we have. I'm not going to name the country, but the viewer can probably work it out by what we've said over the course of this review.
Phil?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
Bogdan?
Yes.
And James?
Nah, only kidding. Yes. I think we really have.
So join us again for the second of our 2 Junior Eurovision 2020 review shows, where we will be reviewing Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan, Serbia, Georgia and Belarus. We will all be back. Phil will be back. Phil, what's going on with On Europe at the moment?
Not a lot. I've discovered the wonderful world of video editing. So there's lots and lots of videos and podcasts on all good and bad podcasting outlets. Just search On Europe Reviewcast and you'll hear my lovely voice for several hours of your life.
Brilliant. We've also got many things happening. All Staggy's made an appearance. I have a feeling Staggy might be doing something Junior Eurovision related. Yeah. John, what have you got on the go at the moment?
Well, still got the birthdays going on. There's other features and things going off on Eurovision Island, so stay tuned.
Bogdan?
As you all know by now, it's One Day Love coming to you every single week, where we feature songs from the whole history of Eurovision, maybe from the national finals or the actual contest, and we give a little bit of love and respect to one song each week.
James, how's the polls going?
Polls are going very, very well. We'll soon be revealing who won your Best of the Big Five for the United Kingdom. Over the Christmas period, we'll be taking a look at your favourite Eurovision entry from Ireland. And then in the new year, we'll hand over to you. We'll give you a poll so you can decide which group of countries you'd like to look at next, whether that be the best from Scandinavia, Central Europe. Yeah, so we're handing over to you.
Yep, and of course I've got the A to Z continuing, and of course the big Junior Eurovision coverage counting down to the big final on the 29th of November. So thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.